It's
Natan.
recording?
Yeah, we're
Oh,
on record,
shit.
man.
Oh, okay.
Dude, so welcome to Bukhara.
What up, man? This is Bukhara.
Yeah.
It's great. It's good to be here.
Dude, yes.
A
Yeah.
lot more lights than I expected. It's very nice.
Dude, this is my setup now.
It's
All
nice.
fancy. Yeah.
No, I like it.
Dude, I mean, we're doing part 2 here because we actually talked and had a whole conversation.
Yeah.
We solved the Middle East.
Yeah.
We got into your story. I
Yeah.
cried, you cried.
Yes.
We laughed.
Yeah.
And apparently no one will get the opportunity to be able to hear that.
It's all right.
Yeah, technology.
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
It's meant for us and God, you know?
Exactly, right?
But yeah. Thanks for having me. I don't really know where you want to begin in this.
Yeah.
I don't know where it cut off before.
Yeah.
So, or we could just talk about any specific thing you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, man. It'll be all
Yeah.
about me.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
No, actually, seriously, I really wanted to talk to you because you're Bukharian and you're a comedian.
Yes.
And it's like, that is really unheard of. Like when I
No.
found out Talia Reese, who's also
yeah, she's
Bukharian. She's half Bukharian.
Yeah.
I was fascinated by her. I was like, what the heck? But you're like fully Bukharian here.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah. I'm
you
the
know.
only full Bukharian. That's my credit. The only
Bukharian
Bukharian comedian. Full
Yeah.
Bukh.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's like there are successful like Instagram comedians that are Bukharian. You
Yeah.
know, like they
Yeah.
do skits and stuff. They're hilarious.
Yeah, they're very funny.
Hope to
Yeah,
get them on the pod soon too.
Yeah. That one, I don't know her name, but it's Marav Ko.
Marav Ko, yeah.
Marav
She's very
Ko.
funny.
She's very funny. That was the
Hilarious.
sketches are very funny.
Right.
But yeah.
Dude, so can we crack into your story? I just like,
Oh,
how does
yeah.
that happen? How does a
Yes.
Bukharian kid become a comedian?
Well, where do you want to start? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I don't know. Where do you want to start?
Yeah.
I don't know where it clicked to want to be a comedian, but I always like being funny. I'm sure like trauma had something to do with it, all that stuff, or like the need for attention and all that. But the classic comedian story, wanting to be understood and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure at some point as a Bukharian person, and I think that we as Bukharian people, I think even though I wasn't raised in a Bukharian community, I feel like the experience of a Bukharian in America is to not really fit in anywhere in America, just because in the sense of like, there's America, there's a lot of Ashkenaz spaces, American Ashkenaz spaces, and I'll just be honest, they don't really accept us.
Right.
Whether or not people, American Ashkenaz, they don't like hearing me say that. And like a lot of times on Instagram, I post, I'm like, yeah, you guys don't accept Jews that aren't white and that aren't American white. And they really don't like that. But I'm like, every single time I say that, I'm like, then prove me wrong. Like there hasn't been a single television show or movie that has to do with Jewish representation that isn't American Ashkenaz.
That's fascinating.
Jonah Hill,
Yeah.
he came out with Kenya Barris, that piece of shit movie. I hate. Can I curse in this?
Yeah, of course, man.
I fucking hated that movie because
I didn't ever watch it.
watch it just to have information about it. It's about Jonah Hill. He's an American Jew, falls in love with a black woman, American black.
Oh, I did
black
watch the
woman.
movie.
Yeah, and Kenya Barris wrote it. He's a black American writer. He wrote Blackish. You know, he's a very successful guy. The thing I didn't like about that movie was it painted Jews as if they're white people and as if like it was. And what I didn't like was that Jonah Hill was seen as someone that was running away from his Judaism, where it's like, well, I'm not that. Like there was a scene in the movie where he was like in the synagogue or something, and then he had like tattoos or something like that, and they're like, well, you can't have tattoos, you can't do this. He's like, I don't give a fuck about this. That's fine. That's fine to think that. That's fine to do that. I don't really care if you have tattoos or anything like that, but it's just the fact that that's the representation that Jews have in mainstream media.
Right.
That to me shows that there's still no spaces for non-American Ashkenaz Jews to even just showcase their stories.
Right, exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Happens to be, it's funny, Jerry Seinfeld is half Syrian.
Yes.
I didn't know that. But
Yes.
I've spoken about this.
Yeah.
I've spoken about this before a lot, where like my own personal experience being Bukharian and being amongst more religious Ashkenazi Jews, it was a tough battle, you know. And similarly, I always want to be careful when I do speak out about it too, because it's like I have been so loved and accepted by the Ashkenazi community.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, but at the same time, dude, the amount of racism I faced is crazy. And it's like when I point it out, people love to deny it. People love to like, no.
Nobody wants to be called racist, especially Jews. Jews are a marginalized group, especially now where they're like all this hatred that we've been getting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, those aren't mutually exclusive. Like Jews can be hated on, and Jews that aren't American, white, Ashkenaz can also feel an added sense of, not hatred, but added sense of kind of like subtle racism or just blatant racism from their own community. Those aren't mutually exclusive.
Not at all.
And that needs to also be addressed, because you can't just keep on saying, we shouldn't talk about this, Israel, all this other stuff. I'll be honest, Israel has been through wars since its existence. That's not an excuse to not listen to other Jews. Just to say like, oh, Israel is going through this. We should be unified. I always hear that. We should be unified. I'm like, we should.
Let's unify.
You should listen to other Jews.
Right.
So that's one thing that always annoyed me. And
can you talk about some of your personal experiences? Because it sounds
I
like
talk about it in the special where I talk about it like, going to synagogue, and I heighten it for comedic effect. I had that one joke about like I always call it like getting Jew checked in the synagogue, where I would go to the synagogue and these old white Jewish women would just look at you weird, or they would do this or that. I've been followed a few times in synagogue.
Followed?
Yeah, followed, because people I don't know, they just didn't know. But again, I don't want to make it seem like woe is me, because I don't like how do you say it, like drawing from pity. But I also don't want to be constantly saying, oh, I'm a victim and all this other stuff. But I am saying that these are the experiences that led me to my just beliefs, and it's like, you can't unknow that, So it's like, I can list all these stories about that, and people will still say like, why are you talking about this? Why are you doing this?
Dude, yeah, that's messed up, man.
Yeah, but it's life, But this is the good thing about things like this now, is like you can create your own. You're not bound by anything, because before it used to be like, I need to be accepted. There's gatekeepers and all this.
Otherwise,
stuff.
you're not going to get booked on shows.
You're not going to get booked or something like that. And now we're in a place where you can literally post whatever you want, for better and for worse. And now I've chosen to kind of just call that out. And I did feel like, okay, well, if I start posting about this, will there be people that will kind of like not like that? But then after a while, I'm like, well, this isn't for them. This is for the people that identify with the fact that, like, you guys don't connect. You guys don't like accept us in our like. We are trying to get into where you're going to, and you guys aren't accepting that. So we're just gonna make our own thing, and that's just how. That's like a business thing too.
Yeah, it's like if you're not gonna solve this in the market, we'll solve it.
Yeah.
Dude, but I'm curious to hear more about your experience, because this sounds like really deep seated.
Yeah. It probably is even more than I realized, probably.
Sure.
That's also class too.
Okay.
It's also class, growing up broke, and you kind of seeing like. What my issue always was the idea of Judaism and the idea of community and the idea of being Jewish is that we are the chosen people, and that means that, to me, I felt like we are all the same, right? So no matter what Jewish space I go to, you're accepted.
100%, right?
But that's not what happened, because that in certain, like when I went to yeshiva, there was a lot of classism there in terms of the wealthy students and then the not wealthy students, and it was just constant reminders in that way.
Yeah.
But to me, I felt like, well, if we are all Jews, then why are we constantly having these divides? I mean, I even have it sometimes where like people like they go you know, like if there's like video, I don't need this, but people ask like, hey, video editing services, like, hey, if you need video, I'm a Jew, so you should hire me. And I go, bro, that's not a qualification. That's great. You're Jewish. I'm happy for you for being Jewish, part of the tribe. But I'm like, dude, this is not.
That's not how you operate. Like.
No, I mean, it's great that you are not an anti-Semite. I don't want to work with fucking. That's the first level. Don't hate Jews. Don't hate yourself. But after that, I'm like, dude, what do you think this is? Like, do you think that we should just? Yeah, I don't know. This is a massive tangent. But yeah.
I get what you're saying, man. To backtrack a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, that was massive.
No, it's all good. Jewish people today definitely need to do a better job if we could all acknowledge. Like treating each other with love and respect and dignity and recognizing whatever color, race, ethnicity we are if we're Jewish, you know, to come to accept each other for that. And it's very unfortunate when that doesn't happen. You know, I think for myself personally, like I've suffered when it came time to dating, right? Like I was in very right-wing circles. Yeah. So for me, dating was very difficult. Anyone that's more curious about like the Jewish dating, I have like a YouTube playlist on that. But yeah, it was so difficult. And I would get gaslit at this all the time. This is the funny thing.
By who?
By the rabbis, the matchmakers, the people that would do this setting up.
Those are some of the dumb. All right, go ahead.
So I have to tell you, man, if something would make me think that like these right wing yeshivish circles, if somebody would make me think that that's a cult, like these communities are cults, to me the biggest thing that would make me agree with them is probably like the dating system. And the reason is the amount of control and fear that's there for the young singles is absurd.
Yeah,
absurd.
You mentioned when you go into events and stuff.
Right, exactly. Like if you would go to a wedding or something, in right-wing circles, in left-wing circles, it's more normal. You could, like if you're at a wedding, you could talk to a girl. It's much more secular. Yeah. But like in right-wing circles, oh my God, dude, if you went over to a girl, they would be mortified. Who
would be the matchmaker?
The girl would be mortified.
The girl?
The matchmaker would be. The reason the girl would be mortified if that happened is, first of all, they grow up so segregated that it can be kind of weird to talk to a boy. But the primary reason that this person might be mortified is because if they're like in shidduchim and they're in the dating system and this girl is seen publicly talking to a boy, that could be like bad on her name. It'll be bad on the boy's name too.
But what if that it works out?
So if it works out, then I guess you have nothing to worry about. But like the fear, the reason that the person would be mortified and probably like run away without even talking to the person, or just, you know, trying to get out of it as quickly as possible, the reasoning would be because this girl will think, or a guy too, a guy will never do that for the same reason. They will think that if somebody saw me do this, they're going to label me as like a bad boy or bad girl, and they're not going to set me up, right? And so the fear is like constantly there of like, if I go to this seminary or this yeshiva versus that one, I will get worse prospects, right? And it's crazy. And it's kind of like there's like a hierarchy, right? Like, if you're the son or daughter of like a special rabbi or something, that will bring you a bunch of points up. Like if you're good looking, that'll probably bring you points. If you come from a wealthy family, that'll bring you points up, right? Like there are certain things that will give you points. And then there's like the negative points, like the person's ugly, disabled, poor. I'm serious, bro. I feel bad.
Ugly.
Yeah. And I want to say this with sensitivity.
No, it's fair.
I want to just
true.
Exactly.
True, yeah.
It's true. Yeah. It's like if you're a Sephardi, you're automatically going to be lower on that list, just off the bat.
We're better looking.
Much better looking.
We're Bukharian, Mizrahi, all that we are. Right. How is that possible?
But that's what I'm saying. Just you could be a good looking. Let's say good looks will get you like 5 points. Yeah. Being Sephardi will probably take away 5 points. Like maybe I'm wrong here. It probably depends on the person also.
I don't know. I've never been in these systems.
That's what it's like though. If I'm talking from my experience, crazy, that's what my experience was like.
But what if you go to a Sephardic or Mizrahi community that kind of like?
So it's fine there, but it's a little more so complicated. The Sephardic. Okay, this is backtracking as well. Yeah. Going back to what you were talking about, Jewish people not accepting other Jews. So I was reading or listening to the book Power Brokers. Are you familiar? It's by, what's his name? Robert Caro. Okay. He's considered a very big, historical, political writer. It's a brilliant book, really brilliant book, very detailed. He talked about Jewish migration into the Americas, which is fascinating in and of itself. So Robert Moses, who was like this very powerful New York politician, he was Jewish. His family was very wealthy. They came, I think his family came in like the mid to late 1800s, right? From Germany, I believe. And I might be getting some stuff wrong. But you had like a first migration of Jews into America, which probably even started before the 1800s, but you start having like mid 1800s, you have these Jews coming in. Then in the early 1900s, people escaping World War I, people escaping World War II, you have massive waves of Jews coming in with each decade, massive waves. And every time the Jews that were already there wanted to help the new Jews, but also there was a segregated class. They were like, these people are not us, they're not us. Fresh off the boat, right? And there's a segregation literally every single time one person gets acculturated to America, and there's like, they're not us. Same thing happened actually. So this is fascinating. In America, nobody knows or cares if they're Polish Ashkenazi or Hungarian Ashkenazi. They don't care, right? Just Ashkenazi. But when they first migrated, there was lots of beef. Lots of beef. They didn't segregate. They didn't intermarry. None of that, right? Now nobody even cares, right? Same thing with Bukharians. That's what I think is going to happen. With Bukharians, we're the newest. As far as I understand, I think we're the last wave of, Jewish migration,
Late 80s, 90s.
Yeah. Not only I think are we the most recent wave, but I think we're probably, as far as I know, there's no other major Jewish population in
in America.
No, anywhere in the world. Is there any other major Jewish population that's I think
migrated? Or just
that even exists out there, right? I think Ethiopian Jews, most of them went to Israel. Temanite, there aren't, as far as I know, there are no Chinese Jews that.
There's Kaifang Jews.
But they're very small, right?
It's very small.
Yeah. I think the last major group were the Bukharians, Central Asian. We're talking about, I think 200,000-300,000 people, something like that.
Yeah.
Right, that migrated.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No. So you bring up with the book. So what did he say? So he was saying that there was constant migration, and
constantly people. We're the last ones. Yeah. I forgot where I was going with that, but I was going to tie this into another point.
Are you saying that this is just a pattern?
Yeah, it's a pattern. Yeah. I think also what you see, if this pattern is true, probably in another 50 years, which I find kind of sad, honestly. Bukharian Jews are just going to be Jews. People aren't even going to know. Yeah, no, just Jew. If you're Jewish, you're Jewish. Nobody cares. Ashkenazi, Sephardi, Bukharian, this, that.
It could be, but it does seem like a lot of the world right now is going back into traditional, whatever that's called, conservative traditional values. So it's as much as I thought that when I was younger, where I felt like before Trump, I felt like it was going in that way where labels were meaningless, where it felt like people were going these things that are dividing us are kind of stripping away more and more. But ever since Trump got elected, it's kind of risen, and also other politicians in other countries are taking his playbook, and then they're just doing that. So
that makes me sad, honestly.
For what?
Yeah, it makes me sad that I think the division.
Oh, the division.
Okay, meaning okay, this is so funny. Framing is so important here.
Yeah.
For instance, if you can say that we're going to reduce fraud and government waste, right? So we're going to cut Medicaid to reduce government fraud and waste, right?
Yeah.
What does that actually mean? That just means that you're taking Medicaid away from people that actually need it, right? So, but if you frame it and we're just cutting government in inflationary spending or whatever, right? You get what I'm saying?
He's a marketer.
Exactly, right.
Markets to, he knows most of the people. Most people in America are stupid. So
we're susceptible to marketing and groupthink, and
of course,
yeah.
I don't think that's. I don't know if it's ever going away. It seems like it depends on where you were born.
Right.
I've seen Gen Z people and Gen Alpha people. To me, they are the most labelless people, where it doesn't none of it
matters.
Yeah, because I think to them, tell me if I'm wrong, because you've had probably patients that are maybe younger. Well, to me, it just seems like if you were born in 2000 and over, you have seen multiple wars going on at the same time. You've gone to school through COVID, which means that you went in and out of school. You've seen the world shut down, and then you've been told, come back to school. Don't come back to school. Come back to school. I think that makes your brain just kind of go just go apathy and just go like, what is this? Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You
Like,
know?
what's going on here?
Yeah. And I have no control over it. And I keep hearing there's going to be World War III soon. And, you know, Ukraine, Israel, China, all this other stuff. And I'm like, and then at some point in your brain is just going like, this is all pointless and this is all worthless. Like, let me just make fun of it all.
There's like a nihilism too.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like the Gen Alpha or Gen Z or whatever that is, I've never seen a more nihilistic generation. And it could just be me
your thought on it.
Projecting or something. But just in the humor that I see that they laugh at.
Right.
Maybe sometimes even the fashion that I see that they dress as, it's like, it seems like there's a intentional projection of lack of care based on what they're dressing as. And like, I just see like...
Fascinating, yeah.
You know? But I don't know if that's true. It's just something I just kind of see.
You know, it's fascinating. I'm sure you're picking up on something. There is a fascinating podcast.
Yeah.
Called Into the Madness by this guy, Trevor Aronson, who I had on this podcast also. Okay. He's a brilliant journalist. It's very triggering, so trigger warning for anybody listening to it. It's about the Highland Park shooter.
Oh.
And very sad, but he talks about this phenomenon that you're describing of like this nihilism that seems to be like more and more common in our culture. But when you first started your commentary on like Gen Z and these people that like don't care, I was gonna say at first, like that brings me hope for the future, because it's like
the reaction to that will be
meaning the way that I understood it was like they're not as stuck on the labels that like you were talking about how like Trump is kind of like bringing these labels back, and what I was gonna say is like the framing, like the reason why that's so seductive is because you think like tradition has beauty and stands for something, and there's meaning, and there's like things to really feel fulfilled from your tradition, heritage, whatever that may be, Bukharian Jewish, whatever culture somebody's part of, you know, there's so much there. But the negative part of that is the tribalism that comes with that, and then the dehumanization of the other side, and the stereotypes and the prejudices and the racism that comes with that as well, that you know gets pushed on. So it's like when you're talking about these kids that they don't buy into that framing, I was going to be like, yeah, you know, I would hope that what we could do is recognize and celebrate each other's humanity, because it's like ultimately behind anybody's culture. It's like we're all human, you know, and I hope that we could see that. But it's also interesting because you're pointing out like the negative aspect of like,
but it's nihilism.
Yeah, it's nihilism, right?
So I don't see how in nihilism it doesn't mean that I don't think you see the people's humanity. You just look at everything and you just go like, you can't be sincere with yourself and with others, because you just go like, well, what's the point of all of this?
Everything is meaningless and
so
has no value.
Just, like I've done comedy and I've seen the younger generation, and not all of them, but I have seen certain people like go to comedy shows like ironically, and they're sitting there and they're kind of just like, they're laughing at the fact that they're at a comedy show. And I know that they're doing this because they're kind of like looking at each other and they're going like, oh, this is like, some of them are like, it's just like they're not there for genuine reasons. And like it doesn't mean anything. I don't care. Like I'm there to tell jokes, and the people that are there, it's just bad for you if you're doing that. It's like, how little of a do you care about your life that you spent time and money to come to a comedy show, to not enjoy it, to ironically be there and not laugh, or you're laughing at the fact that there's a comedian that's trying to make you laugh.
That's so strange though.
It is strange.
I don't get it. Why would somebody do that?
Nihilism. I think.
What does that do?
It doesn't do anything. It's a projection of how I think that they think, where it's like, if everything is pointless, then it doesn't really matter what I do. You know? I don't know if this is true. I'm just connecting dots that might not be there. But it just I was kind of amazed at that. I remember just having this feeling sometimes when I perform in front of like really young people, where I go like, there's something off about you guys, and it's a feeling. Like I don't. It's just a feeling. I don't know if this is true. I don't have to. I'm not in your profession.
Right.
But it is just the feeling I felt about the younger generation. And it's not a knock on them. I'm like, you're just a product of your environment.
Right.
Some of them are very politically involved too. Some of them are not apathetic. Some of them are very, very involved and very like to the other side, you know.
Fascinating.
But it's not it's not that same feeling of contrarianism that like Gen X and millennials have had. It's weird because we were always going like, or Gen X was always like, from what I've read, it was World War II. Then it was, what is it, like the hippies, because they were like, let's stop fighting. And then after the hippies, it was sort of like just this kind of like darkness, because there was like a lot of assassinations in this country with JFK and Martin Luther King. I think it was Medgar Evers. All these people, I don't know. But and then after that, there was just this counterculture. But it was a reaction to all the darkness, where it's like, we're anti-authority, we're anti-this. And yeah, it's just a constant reaction of whatever the higher ups are kind of doing.
Interesting.
So that's why it seems like when it's Trump, everything is so like hopeless, because it's like, even if you did vote for him for whatever your reasons are, it doesn't seem like he really gives a fuck about anything other than his own interests.
Right.
And so that's why
that's a very unpopular opinion amongst many Bukharians.
I don't care. I really don't give a shit. I mean, like, if you think that he's pro-Israel, like, why did he take the fucking plane from Qatar? Like, why is he doing business there? He's a businessman. Like, he doesn't care. Why, if he was pro-Israel, why'd he go to Dearborn to get the Muslim vote? It's like, if you really think he's on your side, wake up, because he's not on anybody's side.
Yeah.
Even if you're for him, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not super liberal. I'm not super this, you know, I don't really give a shit, but it's just like, I just don't like hearing stupid people.
Yeah. Can I make a comment? I agree with you, by the way. I find it so frustrating. I'm sure you could relate to this. The feeling of like, and maybe I just projected this here. So you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I get the sense of like fear of from myself too. Yeah. Like, to feel like I need to get the right opinion on something. Like,
what do you mean?
Like,
why?
What do you mean? Why do I feel that
fear of a right opinion?
No, meaning like, if I say something pro-Trump or anti-Trump, like, who is that gonna, like, am I gonna be attacked or canceled, or like, are people
canceled
gonna not
by
like
who?
me? No, I don't know. I don't care. I'm just saying, like, meaning this idea of like, I feel hesitant to share my own thoughts at times, because it's like.
Well, I understand, because you have a career of so that kind of might project onto your patient's opinion of you.
Right. So that also, I never tell my clients. Every once in a while, like, maybe if a client's talking about something that came up in a podcast with somebody, I'd be like, oh, I talked to this person, you know, and they shared certain ideas. But like, I never tell my clients about my content, you know, unless it comes up in a natural way. And then also, it's like, I hope, as far as I know, like, my clients don't listen to my podcast or anything, but like, I hope that they're, you know, fine with my content. But I say this, I started this political series on my YouTube channel, just kind of reacting to politics. I was telling you about this a little bit before. And like, I find it like a little concerning. I push past it anyways, but I noticed this feeling of like, I feel like I need to have the right opinion. I feel like I walk on eggshells. Why can't I just say my thoughts? And it's my thoughts, you know, like, why do I have to worry about my business and my podcast and if, you know, all this stuff? You know what I'm saying?
Of course, I know. I mean, like, even me saying stuff about anti-Semitism and stuff like that. I've had Arab friends or Muslim friends, like, I don't talk to them anymore. It's like, it's very hard.
Because you said something about anti-Semitism?
Or about Jewish people, or to say like that I feel like people conflate, or people use the excuse of anti-Zionism as a way to kind of leapfrog their way into hating on Jewish people. And I go like, it's kind of obvious what you guys are doing. And there are other people that are going like, well, no, it's pro-Palestine. And I go like, well, it's very convenient that you guys are, you guys don't scream, hey, are you a Zionist, before you beat the shit out of a Jew. It's like, we know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's just hatred.
It's hatred, and you're justifying it. And so like, I've had that, but after a while, I think I'm in the convenient position of like, comedy has this being a comedian has this way of like, I'm not an authority figure on anything.
Yeah, you could just make people laugh and whatever.
Yeah, you can make people laugh, and after a while, you can just go like, "Well, this isn't my job. I'm not a political figure." You know. For you, yeah, I understand because you're in a profession where your public opinions can kind of affect your your job.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is like, it seems like this is the benefit of nihilism, and in the sense of like, we got like people in power, and I'm not just talking about Trump or anything like that have like allegations of sexual abuse and stuff, and they're still in power. And then for me to say like, oh, I wonder if my opinion is this, like, dude, this fucking this person is literally in public office, affecting public policy, potentially killing people. And I got to worry about my opinion on Instagram? Are you kidding me?
That's such a genius point, though.
But that's
the fear that your everyday person lives in. Dude, I have to tell you about this. I was just watching Johnny Harris. Do you know Johnny Harris?
No.
I love Johnny Harris. He's a great journalist. He's on YouTube. But basically, he did this video on Area 51. Are you familiar?
The aliens.
About the aliens.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. So he's talking about how the CIA built ultra like classified aircrafts, right? And what happens is that people don't know what this stuff is, so they think it's UFOs.
Yeah.
And people are going and they're reporting this stuff.
Yeah.
And the CIA fueled the UFO stuff.
Why?
Right? Because they would experiment on people to see like about population control, what they can convince, what they can convince and stuff. And like they would do that. Right? It's like to these powerful people, like this is all a game. You know what I mean? And it's like we're sitting here worried about, oh my God, my opinion. And meanwhile, what you're saying is like this person in power has done horribly atrocious things. They're literally still in power making huge decisions.
Yeah. It's always like,
it's shocking. And like here I am like saying like I'm worried about my opinion on whatever.
But they do that. They did that on purpose in order to like make you not believe. There are people that don't believe in the news anymore.
Right.
And there are people that question the news, and the people that question every source. Well, now nobody knows what's real, what's
going
not,
on.
what's AI, what's not.
Exactly.
And they did that on purpose so that we can constantly argue with each other to contest what's going on, rather than ask the real questions about like, hey, why are you cutting Medicaid? Why are you cutting Why are you cutting Medicare? Like there's nothing you can say about like cutting healthcare for old people. Now old people are
they work, they pay taxes their whole life in this country.
It's Social Security, all that pension, all that stuff.
Right.
So it's like things like that. Those are actually things you gotta like worry about. But
yeah, dude, what's fascinating to me also is like when we talk about like political talking points, right? I don't know if this is my algorithm or this was done intentionally. I truly don't know. But the amount that was talked about the trans debate, right?
They did that. Go ahead.
It's so intentional, right? I finally feel like people are moving on from the trans topic. Like I finally feel like it's starting to slow down.
Yeah.
But bro, this was on the top of so many people's minds. Yeah, and this issue, the amount of people that this affected, so small.
0.01.
0.01.
Yeah, nobody.
And most of the people that like the Republicans, let's say, or even the Democrats, that were so invested in trans issues, the vast majority of them, it did not affect. Like how many of them were like, oh, my child came out, so this is just suddenly a confusing, polarizing issue for me. So few people.
Yeah.
So few people, right? And it's on the top of so many people's minds, right? Instead of talking about actually like real policy, right?
Yeah.
Health insurance, healthcare, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Minimum wage, whatever.
Minimum wage, right? The real issues that are hurting the day-to-day average Americans.
You know, there's a study.
Sure.
Remember after Occupy Wall Street?
Oh, okay.
Remember if the banks, they messed up the housing.
Yeah.
They destroyed it all, and then they got bailed out by the government.
Yes.
So there was a study done of how many times the word trans was used before that compared to after. I think they figured out, I think it was like 400%, like
that's crazy.
Post 2010 or 2012. I think what they actually realized, and I mean, Occupy Wall Street happened, I think, when I was in college.
Yeah.
And I actually had high hopes for them because I'm like, finally, like you guys are like, we're addressing the thing. Like these people are predatory, and we need to like go after them.
Yes.
I think in Iceland or Greece, I forgot which country, this same thing happened, and they took them, they put them in jail. They put these bankers in jail to make sure that this didn't happen. Here in this country, we paid them.
It's insane, dude.
And there was like a picture, I think, or a video of these bankers sitting or like standing in high rises and stuff, just laughing at these just us, at like regular people, right after they got bailed out.
It's crazy.
And so once they found that out, they found out like, oh shit, like we almost fucked up. They almost found out what we're doing to them.
Yeah.
They knew.
Keep them distracted.
Keep them distracted on culture issues. Is trans man, woman, is this, is that, is bring up race, bring up religion, bring up all these things to make them constantly fight.
Exactly.
When in reality, it should be class warfare, and they don't want that because they know that if all the broke people come together and do some like Marie Antoinette type shit, like they know that we're just gonna everything, revolution, all these things people talk about.
Yeah, man. Careful, you're starting to sound like a communist.
But see, there's the thing.
That's
it's like
boom, you just say that, and then you
like,
start the division all over again.
So it's like,
did you ever watch A Bug's Life?
A Bug's Life?
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
That's exactly the plot of the movie.
Is it?
That's the exact... Dude, I remember... I think the grasshopper said something to this effect. He's like, if we don't continue to like put this pressure and control them, then they're going to realize that they could come together and they're stronger than us or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what, also with the internet. I think there was like a golden era for the internet where that was where you get your information. And now I think they also realize, like, hold up. I mean, I don't know if you saw Trump's inauguration, the most recent one. Bezos was there, Zuckerberg was there, Musk was there. That's X, Meta, and Amazon. Those three major corporations, major people went to Trump to like say, hey, please, like we approve of this. These are people that control Meta controls Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. Bezos, Washington Post, Amazon. He has Whole Foods. He has fucking food. Like, it's just like these are the kinds of things where you kind of, which probably breeds nihilism, where you start like thinking about this shit and you go like, how the fuck, how do you, how can you kind of like go past that?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's not my job, which is thank God. Thank God. Because once you start thinking about this shit, you just go like, I don't even know how
what's this about? Yeah.
You can't do anything about it.
Yeah. But then the powerlessness. I have to really disagree a little.
But
not disagree.
By the way, we're not. We're not experts. We're just tangent.
Talking. Yeah. Right?
Talking about being Bukharian, and now we're talking about class warfare.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. I mean, that's what it comes down to, honestly.
I mean, it's not now, but people are. You know?
I think the Bukharian story, right, is like the classic American story.
Coming from nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, coming from nothing.
Yeah.
Like, this is the American problem. I forget what it says on the Statue of Liberty, but like, give us your broken, your despair,
you're tired.
You're tired. Yeah. That's the Bukharians post-communism coming to this land for the promise of like what America offers. Yeah. And it feels like, to agree with like the nihilism at the moment, the trajectory feels like it's becoming less possible to just be in the middle class in America.
Oh,
like, like the work, even to be reasonably in the middle class, bro, the people that I work with, often my clients and stuff, they're working 60-hour weeks,
Yeah, it's the...
Right.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
The work, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Dude, I went to go see an apartment.
Here
in New York City, yeah.
Okay.
Bro, $6,000 for the apartment.
For what?
Bro, a
house? What is it?
It was like a nice apartment.
Okay.
Two bedroom, bro.
2 bedroom. Where?
2 bedroom, 6,000 a month in Roosevelt Island.
What the fuck?
Bro, and the thing is it was tiny. It was so tiny. It was a nice apartment. Don't get me wrong. Like, the kitchen was nice, good view and whatever. But like, bro, like, how do you justify that price? It doesn't make sense.
No, it does.
And this is a rich person would never live there. You know what I mean?
It's not a bad. It's not a bad place.
It's a very gorgeous area. I'd love to live there.
Yeah.
But still, 6,000 a month is just, I don't understand who does it here. So I want to change gears.
Sorry, you wanted to change, because we're going. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, man. So you're a Bukharian, man.
Good segue.
Good segue.
Yeah, Bukharian. Yeah.
Dude, you were dating a rabbi.
Yeah, I dated a rabbi.
Can you tell me that story, man?
Can you tell me what?
Can you tell me that story?
Oh, that story. Well, yeah. I'm not gonna. I don't want to go into like personal details because it's her. It's also her. But yeah, we met during COVID. And yeah, we dated for a decent amount of time during COVID, and yeah, it's just I feel like I think I mentioned it in the special, or maybe it's something that my brain kind of like put together, where I feel like I resonated a lot with dating a rabbi because of all my past resentment towards with Judaism. So it's sort of like, I think in my head it kind of clicked where I'm like, all right, well now I'm a Jew because I'm dating a rabbi. That's right.
Yeah.
But it didn't really work out because of, other things. I'm not that, if you're dating a rabbi, you have to be, I think with anybody, you have to be supportive of their career, and you have to be supportive of who they are and all that stuff. I was supportive of that, but also if you date a rabbi, you got to be in it as well. You got to go to the events, you got to be part of the services and stuff like that. And I wouldn't do any of that because I'm like, I'm not that Jewish. Like I'm a secular. I identify as Jewish, but I'm not like a very practicing one. So I feel like the lifestyle kind of thing, and a bunch of other stuff that I mentioned in my special. So yeah, it's things like that. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, you felt like this is somehow part of an acceptance of your Jewish identity.
Also, I think what happens, with every man, I mean, you don't have this problem, but I did, and I try not to have this problem where it's like, I never really planned ahead. So I mean, you have a wife and a kid, and you're 28. So I'm 33, and only now am I actually going like, okay, what do I want out of life? What do I want out of this? Plans for the future. Like, and I think that's a part of maturing that I don't think I really ever had when I was younger.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for whatever reason, but I think when you're dating someone, you need to have a plan because you're wasting their time if you don't. If they want kids, you got to say, I want kids too, or I don't want kids. At the time, I didn't know what I'm like, this is what like every young dude, they're like, it's going well, we're just chatting, that's enough. You're like, no, like the other person probably wants to get married and wants kids and stuff like that. And I never really thought about that stuff.
Gotcha.
So yeah, those things.
I was hoping for something funnier.
Sometimes it's good to just, be interesting.
That's true too, man.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much material there though to date a rabbi. Like
in the special, I tried to be genuine. I don't like when comics do this thing where it's like they kind of try to joke off what actually happened to them. I want to hear what actually happened.
Got you. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want you to make jokes about what actually happened.
Fascinating.
Rather than to do these misdirects or something like that. Like there's Jewish comics that talk about the Middle East, right? But they don't talk about the Middle East. They talk about how it's hard to talk about the Middle East.
Okay.
That's not talking about the Middle East. That's a cop-out. That's you kind of like tricking the audience into thinking you're being edgy just because you said the words Israel, Palestine. That doesn't mean you're saying anything.
That's not being edgy, really.
It's not even edgy. You're just not being genuine. If you're bringing up Israel, Palestine, you better tell me what you think about that. Because you can't just keep on like doing these misdirects. So I try to do that with everything I say on stage, but also with, dating a rabbi, being Bukharian, where I'm like, this is what it's like. It's not like, hey, wow, I don't even know. Like her payas was whatever. It's like that's funny, but to me, I'm like, that anybody can do that.
Right.
What I think comedy is in this direction where, like, if you're not talking about specific stuff that you went through or that you're going through, then it's pointless because anybody can do that.
Yeah.
You know? So that's probably.
No, dude, that makes a lot of sense. I still haven't showed you my stand-up special yet. Not special.
Oh,
but,
I
like,
thought
my
you.
set.
I thought you were about to say I have a special too.
No, I don't have a special. I did 2.
Yeah, you have the
comedy
tape.
sets. Yeah, I got the tapes.
The tape, yeah.
Yeah, I bombed both times horribly.
Okay.
Went horribly.
Gotham.
It was at Gotham.
Yeah,
Yeah, Gotham Comedy Club.
Big room.
Big room. Yeah, 50. About 50 people there. It's so funny because like you're describing. It's so funny. I know where I went wrong both times, so I feel like I have to keep at it, and I'm like I believe in the material.
Yeah.
It was also very personal, so I feel like it came across almost like I was just almost like trauma dumping on stage. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see it, but
No, I gotta show it to you. But it was about the Day of Hate. Do you remember the Day of Hate?
the what?
The Day of Hate.
The Day of Hate?
Yeah.
No.
I guess this is hilarious. There was a Day of Hate in I think it was like
New
2023. Yeah, in New York. Basically, what happened was
After October 7th?
after October 7th. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Basically, what it's so bizarre. What happened is some person put out like a manifesto of like the National Day of Hate, right?
Just to hate Jews?
Yeah, just to hate, and they're like, yeah, let's get our
Day of Hate, but you know what group we're talking about.
No, it targeted the Jews, and it was like get your
Pitchforks, whatever.
no, it said your banners and graffiti. So like, and I was like, what else? You want your bland food and like, what's he gonna attack us with? You know?
Yeah. So
Yeah. But whatever. Basically, it was about that day for me, and then
all 5 minutes was about that day.
it was about that day. Basically, me and my wife were dating at the time. She's Ashkenaz, I'm Sephardi. So I was just like making jokes, like obviously, like her family wishes I got caught by the Day of Hate, and like all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was a very personal story, so I wouldn't share it like publicly.
Yeah.
But it was so funny. It bombed so bad. But dude, how did you get the confidence and the start at this to do comedy? Because it's not easy.
I didn't really think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about confidence or not confidence. I was just like, this is just something I wanted to do. I mean, I didn't tell anybody, so I guess I wasn't that confident. I didn't tell my mom until like a year or two of me doing it. But what I always say is, like, if anybody wants to do it, like, go to an open mic and see how bad everybody is, because you'll be very confident. You'll be like, oh, this guy's insane. I'm smarter than this person, and I'm self-aware enough to know that I'm not this idiot. So you do that enough. But I guess this is the one benefit of not planning ahead. Where you kind of just go like, this is the thing I want to do, and like this is my impulse, and this is what I feel like I want to do. So that's the good part about kind of like, you know, your intuition and feeling, and kind of like leading with that. So yeah, it's kind of things like that. In terms of confidence, I don't know what, like, people have confidence issues and stuff. I mean,
Dude,
you're gonna bomb.
Hard,
like if
bomb.
anybody watches, you're gonna bomb. Like, you can't avoid that. You'll probably bomb for a while, and you just gotta deal with that. Like, it is what it is. This is part of it. I bomb sometimes. Still.
But how did you get your start, man? You're hilarious, dude. I saw your special.
Thank you.
You're very funny. You have a new special coming out very soon at the time of recording.
I have a new show coming out. I'm gonna record it, but it's not coming out anytime soon.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But what
you have a special coming out?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know when this is gonna come out, but I think at this point it's probably gonna come out. Right?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Probably. When are you planning on releasing it?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
9/2.
So I might be able to get this out on Sunday.
No, it's fine. If it doesn't, just watch it already. What's up?
Check out the special. Yeah,
on YouTube. Yeah, I'll send you the link to put it on the.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
But what was your question? Sorry.
Yeah, you have a special coming out. How did you get your start here? How do you get a special? Like, what? Can you take me through the story?
Oh,
like, especially a Bukharian kid. Like, I think our community is so focused on like become a dentist, a pharmacist, whatever, right? Like, even a barber, whatever. I'm saying like. Yeah. it's very practical.
Be in the arts.
To be in the arts, like that's kind of unheard of.
I think this is the one thing where not being raised in a Bukharian neighborhood helped me. But it's not good because sometimes I guess like I wasn't as connected to the Bukharian community. But the positive is that I wasn't restricted by my community's judgment or whatever these stories are that I hear. Like thankfully my mom never made me experience that, where it's like you need to do this or we'll be ashamed or reputation. Like these random vague words that don't mean shit, honestly. Like to me they don't mean anything. I go, reputation. I always, anytime someone wants to do something and they don't do it because of other people, I just go like, they're gonna die. You're gonna die.
Wow.
Like at the end of your life, you not doing something because some old hater is telling you not to, like that's such a ridiculous reason. And even if it's your family, you just like, dude, how much of your life are you gonna live for other people? Just live your own life. Do your own thing.
Oh, wow.
Even if it's not to make money, just do it. Just do it because it fulfills you. That's enough.
Wow, man, that's beautiful.
Yes, thank you. I'm a poet. Yes. But so that happened, and I went to college. I went to it was an English major. I don't recommend it. It's a complete waste of time.
What were we gonna do with the English?
Fuck knows. It's a fucking English major.
Yeah.
This is talking about not planning ahead.
Right.
So it was just me kind of like, I wanted to go to college. I don't know if I wanted, but I just felt like everybody needed to, you needed to do that.
Do you regret that experience?
College?
Yeah.
If I were to do it again, I would do a more practical major. I feel like English, to be a creative writing major, you don't need someone to tell you to write. It's not. And also, if you're learning about writing, that means that you're writing about writing. And that's the most boring shit you could ever write about. Like, if you're going to write about something, write about like scientists, write about people that have other professions. Like that's where like,
That's something interesting.
Something interesting.
Yeah.
Writers talking about writers, like comedians talking about comedy. That's like the most boring shit ever. Like if I didn't talk about being Bukharian or anything like that, like that's how we're connecting.
Yeah.
If I'm talking about joke structure, like that's, to me, that's so boring to talk about, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe I needed to waste that time to realize I wasted it, you know? And I don't know. But I don't recommend, if you're an English major, please like give up. It's like complete waste of time. Don't do it. Stop wasting your time. Just write, you know? Like write. English majors, this is what creative writing majors is, just you writing a story and a failed writer is telling you how good or bad it is. That's all it is. It's just an old person that probably doesn't have any social awareness of why they suck at writing, telling you like, hey, maybe you shouldn't say this or shouldn't say that. It's like, dude, you're a failure. And you're telling me what to write?
I hear you, man. Dude, do you know Brandon Sanderson?
No.
He's my favorite author. He writes like epic fantasy.
Okay.
He actually teaches a class, and he's more
never mind.
No, bro, he writes tons of books, bro. He's coming out, I think, with 1 to 2 books a year.
Wow.
You know, he writes fast, and he teaches. Yeah.
Wow.
He's brilliant. He wrote my favorite book, the Mistborn series. But he has a class on YouTube for free.
Okay.
So I highly recommend anyone who wants to learn creative writing to check out his class.
It teaches here's one thing I'll say. It teaches you structure.
Right.
Everything in school, it will not teach you to be creative. That's in you.
Yeah.
It will not teach you your life experience. Like that's all you. What it will teach you is
the structure,
how to tell a story.
Yeah.
But that's also a thing you could just go on YouTube for.
Exactly.
Like you could just go like beginning, middle, end. You know, like
you could learn this stuff on YouTube.
Learn these things yourself.
For sure.
But anyway, so
can I challenge you a little bit?
Yes.
This is fascinating. I think
challenge me. I feel like I didn't answer your question, but yeah.
No, it's okay. Yeah, sorry. We'll circle back to it. But when I learned to play piano, it's so funny. My shaman. My shaman.
Your shaman?
I did an ayahuasca ceremony. Do you know what ayahuasca is?
Yes.
Yeah. So I did an ayahuasca ceremony in Bushwick, but my because basically,
it was in Bushwick.
Of course it was in Bushwick. My it's funny because he was my piano teacher. I got connected with him. I knew he was a shaman beforehand, but he's a brilliant piano player, dude. The most beautiful music,
Nice.
I'm telling you, unimaginable. Like, and he's totally musical improv. Like that's what he does.
Self-taught.
I don't know if he was self-taught. I know for sure he had teachers at some point, but I don't know if he was self-taught to begin with. But beautiful, I'm telling you, man. He'll just sit there and he'll pick a few chords and he'll just make the most lovely music you've ever heard, like on the spot.
That's cool.
Yeah, really, really talented. So I was taking lessons with him. I was self-taught, but then I wanted to take lessons later to pick up my skill. And he was teaching me musical improv. And he taught me like a couple of things and whatever. And I really learned. I think you're right in many ways that like you can't really teach creativity. But what he taught was just like your homework is you're going to practice the chords and the scales, whatever you do for that day. But for at least 5 minutes, you're just going to be experimenting. You're just going to be doing the improv. And at first, it kind of is bad. But then you start to get the hang of it and you understand the music and you can hear the music and you get pretty good at just immediately coming up with something quite creative, you know? Yeah.
I guess it also depends on the teacher too.
Right.
The teacher, it sounds like he was teaching you how to be yourself through the piano.
Through the piano, exactly.
So that's an important thing.
Yeah.
That's why, I guess it gives you kind of like, that's the most important thing. I feel like a lot of people don't like. The people that are against these kinds of classes and stuff and teachings about like creativity, it stunts your ability to be yourself. And it forces you sometimes to unlearn the things that you've learned. But teachers like that, that's actually more beneficial because that's actually what you should be going for. Like, to be yourself through whatever avenue, like through comedy, piano, writing, guitar, whatever
exactly.
it is.
Dude,
yeah.
That's kind of what pisses me off, I think, about like people that are kind of like these arrogant experts. Like when you think about like the intellectual elite or whatever, right?
About art?
About like they like have their opinions. Oh, this is art. This is music, like classical music. And then it's kind of like they're snobby or whatever.
Yeah.
The nature of what created these original masterpieces, you know, I kind of have this like the same idea with like Plato's allegory of the cave. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, cave theory.
Yeah. Okay, so meaning like I think what happens is I think this analogy will explain it better. Just briefly, like Plato's allegory of the cave is like somebody, they're in a cave their whole life. All they experience is like shadows. They're chained in the cave and they don't really know. The tree that they see is like a shadow of a tree. They don't know what's, you know, anything outside of that cave.
Yeah.
So one day they escape, right? And they see like, oh my God, right? Like a tree is this beautiful green thing. Like imagine you've never seen a tree or a bird before or like a house or a city, right? And like you're seeing all this stuff for the first time. It's mesmerizing, right?
Yeah.
So the person runs back to the cave. It's like, hey, come on, you know, like we got to get out of here. Like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. Like, it's like, you don't understand. Like there are trees out there, city. Like it's not what you think. And they're like, no, but what do you mean? But the shadows, what about our shadows? It's like, the shadows are meaningless. The real life is out there.
Yeah.
And then they kill him. The people in the cave kill him because you're trying to take away the shadows. But you know, the point of that analogy, I think one application of that story is like you could think about like a religion, for example, or like a system of thinking, right? Yeah. Like you're right now in a cave, right? Yeah. Whatever your belief is could be in a cave. Yeah. Suddenly you see other beliefs that inspire meaning and beauty and all these things, and you try to leave the cave. But if you go back to your community and you try to tell them these ideas that are outside of their community, you're a heretic, and they're gonna ostracize you, kill you, whatever, and you know, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Or then you start your new movement, right? Mm-hmm. So then you have your new movement, and now it's like all these people. But eventually, what happens is that new experience ossifies into the chain, into the caves. It becomes the new cave. Yep. Exactly. Yep. So it's like the same thing. The spirit of creating a masterpiece, of having that kind of creativity that's then expressed by a human, is like coming from a certain type of energy. And then like these people that are kind of like snobby and maybe like the consumer aspect of like, this is what it means for something to be art or whatever. These kind of like gatekeepers. They just miss the point. They're not
they're experts of their time.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's why I find it so hard to give advice or anything like that. Like it's so singular.
It's so
Like
right.
I don't know you. Not you, but I don't know the person that I'm talking to, and I don't know their life. So
yeah.
That's why sometimes if I give advice about comedy, it's very bad. Mm-hmm. But it's the only one that I feel like I can give. Like exactly, I say, go up as much as you can. You know,
right.
Like try to be nice to everybody, all this other stuff. But in terms of like what to say and things to do, I go like, dude, I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if sometimes if you just go up there and just start doing fart noises in the mic and it kills, like, who am I to say that it's wrong? Like, it might not be something I would like, but why are you doing it for me?
Exactly,
you know?
right.
So,
yeah,
art is.
But we were asking you something. I don't remember.
Being Bukharian, how did I become a comedian?
Exactly.
What did I say? Going into being an English major.
Yeah. I mean, so you wanted to do writing? Like you wanted to write a book or something?
I wanted to be a television writer in
awesome.
the beginning. Yeah. And I felt like one way to get into it was, I guess, well, you know, I wanted to be a writer and wanted to write, and television writing was always kind of fulfilled me because I could be funny on the page. And it was also writing a movie is a very long, arduous process compared to writing a television script. Television scripts are like usually 30, 40 pages max, you know, if it's like a half an hour.
What's a movie script?
Minimum 90. Minimum 90. It's like usually a minute a page. That's what they say. But that means it's like, if you're going to write a page a day, that's 3 months, you know, as opposed to like 1 or 2 months. So I would always write like pilot scripts and stuff like that.
Got you.
But after college, you know, I would just go to open mics and I would go to shows and I would just watch. But I remember during English, my creative writing classes, I was so unaware of like how much I wanted to do comedy that I would write short stories about comics and comedians and all that stuff. And, you know, after a certain point, I went to try an open mic at Stand Up New York, and it was terrible. I forgot everything. And then I thought, all right, well, I guess I'm not good at this, so what's the point? But it was still in my head. So after a few months, I tried it again. I think it was a Broadway comedy club, and it bombed again.
Oh, wow.
And then I did it at New York Comedy Club, and I think I bombed again. And then I remember just going, like, thinking to myself, well, this is what it is. I just was like, I guess this is just what you have to do to be good at this, is to just really be bad for a long time. And I just went in, and that's the worst. I feel like that's the hardest part for like whatever arts you're in, is knowing what you want to do, but knowing that you're not good enough to be there.
Yeah.
So you're in this kind of gray area where you're just like, okay, I'm just developing right now. And that's the work where people just stop. People think it's not worth it, or people going like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, this is a waste of time. And all of those answers are valid.
Yeah.
You have every right to say this is a waste of time, this is this is that. I think I kind of benefited from the fact that I didn't have a family, I didn't have kids, you know, because those are obligations, those are things, those are like, you know, big commitments. And
yeah. But I'm curious though, what kept you going though, despite the fact that you're talking about your bombs?
What kept me going? I guess I was getting a little better, like throughout time, during time. Like there's always something in comedy that kind of like gives you a little bit, like you're about to quit, but then it just gives you like a little something, you know? I was about to quit, I think like a year and change into it. And I just thought to myself, like, I'm not getting booked. I'm not in any clubs. Like, what's the point of this? You know, this is really stressful. Like I'm struggling. And that same day, my friend called me, and he ran a show at a New York Comedy Club, and he's like, "Hey man, if you want to do a spot next month, you're in if you want it." And I go, "Yeah, sure." So for that next month and a half, I was like, "All right, well, after this show, I'll probably be done, but I'll prep for it.
Give that show
like
a chance."
This is the show I'm prepping for." And then after that show, the show went well, and that gives me enough confidence to kind of like keep going. And it was always something like that, you know? So, yeah, it's just little things. I'm sure it was a lot of other little things that I can't really remember right now. But also it helps to have a community around you. I didn't have like a Bukharian community, but I had like comedians around me that were also struggling. That were also like trying to get better and confiding in them, you know? It helps when you have a community of people that, you know, you're all struggling, but you're all trying to get to that same goal, you know, of trying to be as funny as you can be, trying to, you know, career-wise, trying to get somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
So that helped.
So that was helpful. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I do. It's kind of crazy to me though. Still, it's like you're bombing and then you just keep going. I'm still curious to understand, like, what was that within you that like made you keep going? And this is also what's funny. Working with Bukharian kids.
Yeah.
When my first job out of college, out of graduate school, was at a school, right?
Yeah.
And these were middle-aged, mostly Bukharian, middle school, mostly Bukharian kids. And dude, when I would take them to the Samash, because the school was right nearby the Samash, the guitar store, and they would, try to show them a couple of things.
Oh yeah.
I was sharing this story with you, and then they would just be like, "Oh my god, I suck! Like, I never want to play this or anything." And it's like, come on, you
Give
just
it a
started.
chance.
Yeah, give yourself a shot. Give yourself a chance. Like, even if you're bad, like is that horrible? Like, just try it. Play around. Like, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It's that common immigrant thing where it's like everything has to be about productivity and everything. It's like if this doesn't lead to the next, like that's an extreme on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the kids are now. I hope they're more, creative. I've seen them on TikTok sometimes, like doing their own thing.
Interesting, cool.
Yeah, with sketches and stuff. I did see that guy, that Mizrahi, that rabbi.
Oh, Rabbi Mizrahi.
Oh my God, I'm not religious, so to me it's hilarious.
Right.
Or it's just ranting and raving about women not dressing modestly on TikTok. I thought that was if you're religious, why are you on TikTok?
Why are you on TikTok at all, to begin with?
He has a movie too?
Yeah, he's got a movie.
Crazy, man.
Okay, I just have to fill the audience in. Last time we had this conversation, we were talking about the Bukharian community.
Yeah.
And
he's Bukharian?
He's not Bukharian, but he's very popular in the Bukharian community.
Why?
Dude, I don't know. I agree with you. I don't know why it's so popular. This is the thing. I don't want to.
Let me just say this. You don't have to say anything about. I'll just be the guy.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
The funny thing is it seems like if you want to be if you want the religious community, the Bukharian religious community to be on your side, all you have to do is talk shit about society and how it's going. It seems like it's such a common thing. All you have to do is just say the world out there sucks. The women out there, they don't know what they're doing. You guys gotta keep the Sabbath kosher. You guys gotta do all these things, and then everybody just
claps their hands. That's it.
I commend him. Yeah. I should start doing that.
He's great, man. Dude, that could be a funny skit for you, by the way. To do like a
if I'm the rabbi.
Extreme rabbi. Yeah, dude, that could be hilarious.
Yeah.
But dude, basically, I'm a little conflicted about this because it's like I don't want to insult or criticize a person.
That's where the secular. I don't mind.
You don't mind it, yeah?
No, because I'm never going to be in this person's presence. This guy already thinks I'm going to. If he believes in hell, he thinks I'm going there.
Right. I don't know.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
Right.
There's probably going to be people writing like, "How dare you?" And I'll just say, "How do you have a computer?" That's crazy. You're not supposed to have a computer. You're not supposed to have a computer. You're not even supposed to be watching this.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway.
No, but the reason why I'm hesitant is because I think he gives a lot of people a sense of like meaning and purpose and drive, and for a lot of people, it's very fulfilling to hear his voice, and it's like I think though, no, I hear you.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that what concerns me, this is what truly concerns me, is like the Bukharian community is, there's a story of like. I don't know if I want to say trauma. That's a little bit extreme, but there is trauma for sure in the Bukharian community. Yeah. But like, there's a lot of baggage and persecution and unfair treatment from
who?
Just society? Through communism. And
you mean
all
from
that
the
stuff
past? Okay,
from the past.
Yeah.
Struggle, right?
Yes.
Famine, all that's war. They're coming over here to America with nothing. Most of them, right? Especially like the earlier waves.
Yeah.
Truly, like some help, but mostly, started from the bottom kind of thing. A lot of people had education because, a lot of them were from Tashkent or wherever, Uzbekistan. So they had, like my father is a mechanical engineer. My mother was a midwife in Uzbekistan. Over here, she became a nurse. But like, came here with qualifications and stuff. A lot of them, some didn't. Many go into business, things that they even have to drop. Many of them have to drop their qualifications and cut hair because
go like the quicker trades.
Exactly. The degree didn't transfer. So cutting hair, jewelry was very successful, all that.
Yeah.
Where am I going with this? Oh yeah. Right.
With the rabbi.
We think about like the religiousness in the Bukharian community, right? apparently, and I don't know this. Like, I have no reason not to believe this, but apparently the Bukharian community was a religious community. It was traditional religious. They had mikvahs. They kept kosher. They slaughtered the animals. They did the brit milah. They did all the Jewish stuff, right? Yeah. You didn't have any sort of like the way you look at like a yeshiva guy, the white shirt and the learning all day and the way the way they talk. I don't know. It's funny.
You're talking about like people that just spend time like the Brooklyn
all day learning. Yeah, like you think about like these ultra orthodox. Like a lot of people when they think ultra orthodox, they think Hasidish.
Yes.
And they are technically ultra orthodox too. But like when we talk about like yeshivish ultra orthodox, right? Like you're talking about people that are basically learning Torah all day. Yeah. It's not a. I could criticize it. I've been a part of that life. Like I understand it, but that is alien to Bukharian. Like there was no such thing as like a Bukharian-based medrash. You just, as far as I know, you didn't have such a thing where people were devoting day to night just to learn Gemara all day. That did not exist.
It doesn't seem like they could.
You couldn't have done it because people needed to work and stuff, and religion was also illegal, so it would have had to be underground. But like even the rabbis, had jobs and stuff, and they worked and they served the community, and it was so much about community service. Yeah. Right? Like that's what it was about. Religion, especially the more orthodox you get here in America, it looks very different than the traditional community-driven values of the Bukharian rabbis in past. Where we're talking about like real community organizers, like Rabbi Shlomo Nisanov spectacularly exemplifies this. Of like he was such a community maker and organizer.
What community? Where did he?
He's based in Kew Garden Hills. Okay. I think his shul is on 77th Avenue or something like that, but. He's around here, and unfortunately he had some really terrible tragedy in his family. Yeah, and what's also incredible to see is how the Bukharian community really came together to support. Yeah, it makes me even emotional talking about it too.
That's great.
That's it was like pouring rain like crazy. Yeah. I was telling you this last time. It was like pouring rain like crazy, and my mom asked me to turn around. Wow. Because I was taking her. Yeah. But still, like despite that, it was packed like really packed. Yeah. And really heartbreaking story. But like Rabbi Nisanov, he's a pillar of the community. Yes. Like definitely. And I remember in the past, and this doesn't exist as much anymore, but I remember in the past definitely like Bukharian Shabbatons and events, just not a wedding, not anything, just a Bukharian event. You know? And that's like. It feels like the Bukharian community is kind of getting assimilated. Like they're either becoming very right-wing Orthodox, like joining these yeshivish communities that is so crazy to see Bukharian do that. Yeah. Or they're becoming assimilated. Yeah. All the stuff that you can imagine classic American.
Like me. I'm more Americanized.
You're much more Americanized.
I'm one of the heathens in this society.
We're all heathens, dude.
I don't think we're heathens.
No, we're all the heathens, I should say. Like this
to Rabbi Mizrahi, we're all
heathens. Exactly. No, but this ties back to Rabbi Mizrahi. Yeah, I think the culture shock and shift is the primary reason why somebody like Rabbi Mizrahi is so popular.
But that goes into what we're saying about labels being
more on the rise. But the thing is that with the Bukharian community, the traditional values and the way Judaism was practiced in Uzbekistan is not possible here in New York City. You know what I mean? We live in a totally different environment, and the challenges are totally different.
So what does he say about?
So what Rabbi Mizrahi comes in, and what he does is he creates a very simplistic, clear sense of morality and right and wrong, and that becomes extremely attractive. This also, these extreme people, like the extremism that I think oftentimes Rabbi Mizrahi followers and people like Rabbi Mizrahi, like the type of feeling that they inspire, like this extremism, probably did exist in Uzbekistan to some degree or other, but not nearly to this degree that I often see sometimes, like a kid, not religious at all, saying like, I keep Shabbat and this and that. It's like, it's kind of wild.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to say anything for what I'm about to say.
Yeah, sure.
I just feel like everything he's, I've met people like him. Like I went to yeshiva. I feel like everything people like him say is just a cop-out to not... Like, if you're a parent and you're to listen to what he's saying, you're a bad parent. Like, to me. Because I go, like, you're not listening to your child, and for you to answer every question that your child would say about life, and you just say, it's in the Torah, you're a bad parent. To me, you're a bad... I'm like, you're not listening to your child. You go and, like, everything in life is in the Torah. It's like... Well, if we're going to be literalists, the Torah talks about slavery. It talks about racism. How literal do you want to go?
I think also,
this is why people in the yeshiva didn't like what I was saying, because I was questioning.
Right, you questioned it.
If you're gonna be literalist, be literalist all the way. If you don't do it, so it kind of like until you're gonna leapfrog in that way. And I get what he's saying, but also I'd recommend, and I also think people like him creates more of a divide between generations.
They do, yes.
I didn't know this, but there was a massive, I think, drug problem with Bukharians.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. I'm not in the Bukharian community. I don't take drugs or anything like that. I'm not saying that this is a reason for it, but I also feel like if we are like very community oriented and all this other kind of stuff, you can't just keep on using the Torah, the Old Testament, the Bible, to keep on like Bible thump to your children. Like you're not listening to them. And we're like, we're a very different kind of case, I think, in my opinion. We're not represented in media.
Right.
Nobody really, in my opinion, really checks for us other than ourselves. So we have to kind of like, now I don't want to say police each other, but we have to kind of like watch out for each other.
Yeah, watch out for each other more.
And so if kids can't really talk to their parents, and all their parents do is just say, you got to get married, you got to have kids, oh, you got to do the Bible. Right. It's like, dude, you're a terrible parent. You don't have to say this. I'm saying this. You're a terrible parent if you're saying this shit. Because
I hear you,
we're not in Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
You have to listen to your children in the sense of like their emotional needs. And you're going like, I'm not saying it's a failure on the parents that this is happening. Because it's like, obviously the kids are taking drugs, but it's like, it all plays a part.
It does, dude. You're not wrong. It all
plays a part.
You're not wrong. I think I wouldn't even say that where I disagree with you. I wouldn't even say that because like I think
know
you would
agree.
agree.
You're more part of this community than I am, so I'm not. You don't have to. No, buy
dude,
into
you're totally.
saying.
You're right. You're 100% right. I think where I would give a little empathy and grace.
Yeah.
This is true for sure for the older generation that came.
Yeah.
They were first of all not taught to have this kind of like you don't talk to children as if like they have something serious to say. Like the collective.
Stop.
It's just I completely agree with you.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, but the reason for that is because in Uzbekistan they were collective, right? It was like a family unit. Like I totally agree with you completely, and this is the most fascinating thing. I never understood my father for the longest time because this is my dad. It's impossible to have a conversation with him. Yeah. He doesn't talk.
Yeah.
But anything you ask him is like, yeah, it's okay. Few word sentences. Like he's just a stoic person, you know? Whatever, bro, the world could be crumbling and he's just chill. Yeah. He's just kaif always. Like that's the type of person. Yeah. I never could understand him. Like it seems like, I don't know if he ever thinks philosophically, especially for me. Like I'm such a deep thinker and I think about these things and like I try to ask my dad about these things sometimes. Like I even like, I'll just mess with him. I'm like, Papa, what do you think if this is all simulation? He's like, what? What are you talking about?
He's not even.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't begin to like, because for him, I asked him too, like, why does he believe in God? Right? Because I wanted to like understand. And he's just like, what do you mean Hashem? And I never, he's just like, what do you mean God? I believe in God. I never understood it, bro, until, this is the craziest thing. There's these like Azerbaijani YouTubers. They're like farmers. It's a husband and wife. And it's a YouTube thing. The son got like a camera or whatever, and he just filmed his parents doing their work. All day is just like farm chores and house chores. Have you ever seen these videos?
No.
Bro, it's the best ASMR you'll ever watch in your life. I promise you. You just turn the stuff on. The guy goes outside, cuts down a tree, whatever. Wife is cutting up vegetables, feeding chickens, you know, like all that. She's preparing a whole meal. Whole day of work, it's just them, like, and it's going back and forth between what the wife's doing all day, what the husband's doing all day, and then the video ends where like they come together and they have a meal together, bro. Barely any talking. A few sentences between each other, whatever. And I was finally just like, oh, I get it.
This was how they were raised.
This was right. And even them, they were more industrial. They lived in Tashkent, right? Like it was a city. My dad went to university, and my mom. But like what I understood was these are experiential people. These are people that like they work. They're action oriented. Yeah. They're not questioning and listening to. They don't have themselves. You know, like
it's a privilege.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a different mentality in America where like we're so intellectual. And this is where I think also about like the atheist and God debates. It's like you're debating God. Like for many people, especially for Bukharian people, God is an experience. Like you feel God's existence. Yeah. You feel like things have a purpose and that God has his eye out for you and whatever. Like it's not a belief. It's an experience. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's so different. But I agree with you completely that because of that and because of the expectation in America for things to be different and individual, right? And they weren't equipped to deal with that. You had massive culture shock, arguments between parents and kids that unfortunately had a side effect of many kids not feeling supported by their family, turning to drugs to numb their pain, things that traumas they felt like they couldn't talk about, where their parents were just like, brush it off, whatever happens. Like that happened, of course. And I think definitely the younger generation, it's a responsibility on them. Like, you know, there are therapists out there, get help, work on yourself, you know, read some books, learn, listen to your kids. Listening is so important. You know, it's the most important thing you could do for your kid. Play with them. Speaking to myself too, it's like sometimes I am just on my phone or my computer when my daughter's trying to play with me. And it's unfortunate. I got to do better at it, but it's like we all really need to do that. I completely agree with you. I just wanted to maybe give like more understanding of why this is.
Yes, I completely agree with you. I just don't. Yeah, I just. I don't. I'm not a parent, so if there are any parents that are watching that are like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about in terms of parenting. Yeah. I just get when I see religion used as a cop out towards anything, it makes me like go like, it's like a con artist. Like I go like, you're a con artist. I've met people like you before, and I've met you in my childhood. I've met you as Ashkenaz, and I met you as a Bukharian. Like it's not exclusive to any of that.
Exactly.
I've seen Bukharian people Bukharian Jews weaponize religion to get money. I've seen them all that stuff, and this is a form of it. You're on TikTok. That's a Chinese government app, and you're posting TikToks about you're wondering about read the Torah and all this other stuff. It's like it makes me question the person's true intentions. If you're truly religious, why are you doing things like that?
Yeah.
If you truly are religious, one thing I've heard from religious people is that truly religious people there's always these things that people talk about with Orthodox Jews. It's like they feel like they're removed from all the communities except their own. There's a reason for that. It's because they're like, we will keep each other together. We don't need TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. We're like, we just need each other. So to see someone like that, kind of like, I think clicked something in my head where I'm like, this guy feels like the intentions aren't pure.
I get that. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And again, if you're watching this, why are you not in the synagogue? Why you should be in the synagogue 24. You should be sleeping in the synagogue. Like, if you're upset with me saying things about religious Jews, that means you're not religious enough to turn this off. Like, you shouldn't be watching this. They don't. Yeah, it's like you have a flip phone. Allegedly. Allegedly, you have a flip phone, but you know what? You're watching this on YouTube. So,
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I guess it's just because it kind of like made me. I'll tell you a story about one thing that happened that kind of, I think maybe kind of got to me. One of many stories. I had my bar mitzvah, and you got to wear your tefillin right after. You're a man now, and I didn't understand why I needed to do it. I was one of the older kids in my class. I was like, nobody else is doing it. Why do I have to do it? And I remember there was a guy in the morning, and I go, he's like, you're a man now. You have to wear your tefillin. And I had it. My mom I was gifted it. And I go, why? Why do I have to wear it? I got to put it on my head. I got to do this. It's like 14 more steps and stuff. Like, what is the reason? Why does God want me to do it? And he's like, all right, come here. And he goes, why don't you want to do this? And I go, because I don't understand why. He goes, because God wants you to do this. And I go, if God wanted me to do this, wouldn't God put it in me to want to do this? Why is God allowing me to question this? The anger I saw as a response to this question.
He got really angry?
Oh my God. Dude, you ever see someone so angry they stop looking at you and then they just start looking at the floor? He goes, because God said you must do it. And as he was ranting and raving, I thought, this is what religion does to people.
Dude, that is so sad to me. That's so sad.
It was an extreme. He's an extremist.
That's
he was like,
true.
I remember, and then I slowly, as he was yelling, I was like slowly walking away from him. Like, all right, peace out, bro.
You got something to work out there.
Yeah, this is all you. This has nothing to do with me. Yeah.
Can I tell you though? I used to do a lot of kiruv myself.
A lot of what?
Kiruv is like when somebody, like a Jewish person's unaffiliated and they're trying to come closer.
Oh, I didn't know there was a.
That's a thing, yeah.
Kiruv.
Kiruv, yeah.
It's a Hebrew word.
It means to close in.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a service.
No, so it's I guess it's a service. I don't know.
But you can provide people. I didn't know.
Yeah, for sure. There's like Camp Ura.
Okay, yeah.
That they have a shidduch program, matchmaking. That how I met my wife.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
But I used to be very involved with them also in the camp. But there's another camp in Nagila. If a kid would ask me that, I used to love it when a kid would ask me a question like that. Right, because it's like it's an opportunity to like start having a conversation about philosophy, right? Like, why did God create us, right? What's the whole purpose? Why does he want us to wrap the tefillin? All these different things, right? Unfortunately, we're not gonna have time to get into it. I would really love to continue.
You gotta go soon.
Yeah, I do gotta go soon, and I wanna,
But there is, I think this says, but I'll end it on this. It's like these. I think now in my life, what I'm doing now is I'm kind of. You can't change what happened to you, you know? And I'm not saying what happened to me is like the worst possible thing in the world, but I do feel like there were certain instances in Jewish spaces where I just was like, this is crazy, man. Like not the belief, but what it seems to do to people. And I'm happy that you're being more open with these children. And now I'm kind of unlearning all that, where I'm kind of going, and I say it in the special, I'm like, I can't just keep on like holding on to these things and like taking it out on other, people, other Jews and stuff like that. And so now what I'm trying to do is kind of be in more Jewish positive spaces where it's sort of like, we're here, we're both Jews, but we're not like going to be trauma dumping. We're just like talking and we're just hanging out. And there's more of a positive association when it comes to Judaism and Jewish people.
That's beautiful, man.
I'm trying to do that.
No, I would love that.
I mean, I think this podcast is kind of an example of that, where it's like we're just hanging out. But I unfortunately brought my bullshit, my past bullshit into the fray.
Right.
I think that had to do more with Rabbi Mizrahi, which kind of like clicked something in my head. But
no, dude, I get it. You have the right to feel how you feel,
See, as a very therapist.
Of course. A few.
But you can't keep carrying. You can't keep carrying that shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, especially if you have kids. It's like if I ever have kids, I want them to have like a blank slate of God, of faith, and of religion.
So they can figure it out.
Yeah, I can't bring my shit. Hey, this guy, you shouldn't believe in God because of what this guy said to me 20 years ago.
It's like,
it's such an immature way
to
go about life.
Yeah,
you know.
No, I totally get that, man. Yeah. And I love how you're able to laugh at these stories and bring people to laugh, because that is so important to healing. Yeah. Like when you laugh about it, it's like, it's an indication that like you've processed, like you're letting it go. Laughter is it's release, you know?
Yeah. According to this podcast, I really let it go. I'm still remembering it. Yeah.
No, but it's fun. I mean, it'll always be a part of your experience, right? Yeah. But like you're able to laugh at it and like see the... Bro, when I was on the ayahuasca trip, actually, the first thing that I did, the major first vision that I had was I was laughing off all the traumas of my life. It was the funniest joke in the world. Yeah. It was so... It all, I don't know why it became so funny all of a sudden. Like it was a new perspective almost. And all of a sudden it was finally like, I got the punchline. I heard the punchline and I was just laughing nonstop. The shaman had to come over to me and be like, yo, Gabi, shut up. Please. You're ruining everybody's experience. I was laughing, bro, nonstop laughing.
So it's like
hard laugh. And I have an annoying laugh.
From it.
It wasn't removed. It was more like, I don't know what it was. It was something almost like, you hear a punchline and then you just have gut-wrenching, hilarious laugh. Yeah. I was just reliving my life, like it was forced gut-wrenching hilarious. Yeah. Like it was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. I was just laughing it all off.
How long did
that laughing?
No, yeah.
That laughing was probably like 20 minutes before the shaman was like, Gabi, yeah, really.
And how long was your trip?
It was like 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the way, day.
Yeah, one day. It's 5 hours. Guys, be very careful. Watch some of my other content. I talked about doing psychedelics. Be careful. I don't want to just make it sound like I'm like, just do psychedelics.
Do it with people that you feel safe
with. You need to do it responsibly if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to shout out Sarah Baruchlov.
Oh, yeah.
Also. Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, I saw your episode with her.
Yeah, she's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you were just talking about the Bukharian community and wanting to do more for the community, and I was thinking I really want to do. I still haven't talked to her about it yet, but I want to do like once you come back and stuff at some point.
Yeah,
I'm sure we could really make it happen for very cheap.
Oh, the show.
Like a free comedy night, like you and Talia and a couple of other Bukharian comedians. Like they'll do like 5 minutes or whatever. You could do like a set, and Talia will do a set. Yeah. And just like we'll get sponsors, like a free Bukharian comedy night. You know,
that would be nice.
Yeah,
make it more positive.
Yeah, exactly, and it could help like the newer voices too. If like if we reach out, if Mayrav wants to join, or
does she do stand up?
I don't think she does, but I mean, I'm sure she'll prepare like a 5 minute if she's into it. You know, if she wants to.
Yeah, sure.
I think it could be a great opportunity to like just bring people together to laugh.
Yeah,
just just because.
Yeah, it's like making our own thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Before I ask you the last question, I was on the podcast on. Where can people find you?
On everything, Natan Badalov. if you're Russian speaking. The special came out, I think, when this comes out, on my YouTube channel. Check it out. It's very Jewy. It's called Connect the Dots. And if you're out of New York, I'm gonna be doing my new show in LA, Chicago, in Queens in November, and then in Philadelphia in late November. So that's what I got so far. Yeah. So check it out, man.
That's
I've really sold myself there.
Yeah. Natan, if there was one thing that you could yell from the rooftops that you want everyone to know, what would that be?
Yell from the rooftops? My God, what a question. If it was everyone, so it's everyone. Help one person out a day. That's everyone. So it'll become altruistic.
That's brilliant.
Help everyone. Like if everyone helped another person out like once a day, then that's fucking.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's not a funny one.
If we all just like spread positivity.
Just little things. You know, buy a bag of chips for someone or something.
That's sweet. I love it.
Yeah, that's all I can think of. Yeah,
it's awesome.
Funny.
No, it's great though. Natan, it was great having. Can we be friends?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I want to do part 2. Can you please commit that we're gonna do?
Oh,
this is part 2 actually. Yeah, I'd love to do part 3 at some point though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I'll talk shit about Ashkenaz for a third hour.
Yeah, exactly right. Guys, stay curious. Think for yourself. You're more capable than you think you are, and to the rebellion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.